Hi, I'm Tom Durr from Soundcraft US. I look after Soundcraft's interest here in the United States, and I'm here at Full Compass today to talk about the Si Expression console, which is a brand new digital mixing console, predominantly for live use, that we've just introduced. And the Expression comes in three flavors: the Expression 1, the Expression 2, and the Expression 3. The 1 has 16 mic preamps on it, the 2, 24 mic preamps, and the 3, 32. So after that, everything on the Expression is pretty much the same. You just get more faders as well. So I'm standing here in front of an Expression 3 at Full Compass. The Expression 3 has 30 input faders going across the surface, a left-right master, and a center master, and a single encoder above each of the input faders. The simplicity of operation of the Expression is one of the things that drives people to like the Expression, along with the sonic quality. So I'll explain a little bit about just the basic operation of the Expression. The Expression has, again, the single encoder here. It can be one of three things: gain, high-pass filter, or pan pot. And then below each encoder, you have some metering. You have an input meter running right here, a downward reading gain reduction meter on the far right, and a X that's illuminated if the gate that's on each channel happens to be closed for that particular channel. Down below the metering, you have an on-off or mute switch, a select switch, and a solo switch, and then just the fader. So anytime you need to access something on the channel strip itself, you hit the select switch on a particular fader, and that brings that fader, that input, onto what we call the assignable channel strip, or the ACS. The ACS has mic preamp, high-pass filter, a gate, a compressor, 4 bands of EQ, 500 milliseconds delay, and a pan pot. And that's, again, one of these for each of the available input channels. On the Expression, while you have 30 faders on the surface at one time, you can mix up to 66 sources into the mix bus on any of the three models: Expression 1, Expression 2, Expression 3. So again, the operation to control something on input channel: hit select for the fader, you have the assignable channel strip, you make an adjustment. You also have input, or basically enabling switches right here that allows the high-pass filter, the gate, the compressor, the EQ to be placed in, or the channel to be assigned to the mix bus. These can also function as interrogation switches. If I hold the switch down, you'll see that the select switches down on the fader illuminate to indicate that, in this case, the high-pass filter is inserted on each of these channels. I could do the same thing, look at my compressor or my EQ. I can also use these switches to take something in or out. So in this case, I've taken these two channels out of the EQ out of those two channels. So that's a quick way to navigate the console. So teaching the console is very easy. Know that you have one encoder here that can be three things, and then the rest of your input functions show up here on the assignable channel strip. In terms of getting to your aux sends or mix buses, of which there's basically 20, 6 stereo, 8 mono, or 14 mono, or any mix thereof. You have 14 mix switches showing down below the assignable channel strip. To access the mix bus, in this case I'm going to do mix bus 1, I hit the switch, and now the faders illuminate yellow. And the yellow is a patented technology from Studer and Soundcraft called fader glow. And in this particular application, we use fader glow to indicate anytime the faders are not feeding a main mix, say your mains or the loudspeakers the audience hears. It shows that they're being used to control a musician's mix or send to an effects unit. In this case, yellow is pre-fader auxes. I think down here if I hit, I'll see green as post-fader auxes. And then if I go to an effects send, it glows blue. In this case, I'll make some changes here so you can see that as I move through the different mixes, that it remembers the position, it changes the color, and I can bounce between them. So that's very handy. Again, it's often that you can lose track of what mode you're in if you're switching fader modes. So by having the color coding, it allows immediate recognition that something is different. So you're no longer mixing your mains, you're now mixing an aux mix. The Expression also has 28-band graphic EQs on every output. One way to get to that is be in the mix mode, and down here in the bank switches, there's a graphic EQ switch, and basically a high and low band. So I'm going to hit the high band, and you can see that now the faders glow red, and There's silk screening above each fader that indicates which frequency band that fader is adjusting. So I've got one of these on all my output buses. And one of the nice things about the Expression is that anything that I talk about in terms of processing is there available all the time. I don't have to give up an effects unit to gain additional graph EQs. I've got a graph EQ on every output bus, left, right, center, all my matrices, all my aux buses. Speaking of effects units, it does come with 4 Lexicon effects units built into it. They're accessed, and this is one of the few times we use the touchscreen. One of the things you might have noticed so far is that I've never talked about the touchscreen. Everything I've done is tactile. I've basically touched and turned stuff. To get to the effects unit, there's a round effects switch over here underneath the screen that says Effects. That brings up a menu on the touchscreen that allows me to choose up to 29 different types of effect on 4 different engines. So basically 4 engines, each with 29 different effects. If I choose something that has a delay or tap delay, there's 4 dedicated tap delays that map out onto the dedicated tap keys. So there's basically 1, 2, 3, 4 tap keys right here. The back panel of the Expression has the same amount of mic preamps as we discussed earlier. So basically on Expression 1 you have 16 XLR jacks, Expression 2, 24 XLR jacks, Expression 3, 32 XLR jacks, and they all have 16 analog output jacks. Probably 2 of these will be used for left-right, and then the spare 14 can be used for aux buses or matrices. There's also ASEBU in and out, and a single expansion card slot. And we make a variety of expansion cards for this console, including Cat5 MADI, fiber optic MADI, ASEBU, CobraNet, Aviom, a multi-digital card that basically allows us to get 32 channels out using either USB or FireWire ports, and a BlueLink card that allows us to get directly into a SoundWeb London BlueLink device or the new personal monitoring system from DBX called the PMC. All our Expression models can be expanded by adding a digital snake or stage box to it. We've got a new stage box coming out called the Mini Stage Box 16 and the Mini Stage Box 32. 16 has 16 mic inputs by 8 analog outs. The 32, as the name implies, has 32 mic inputs by 8 analog and 8 digital outputs. These will connect to the console using MADI over Cat5 or MADI over fiber, and they will allow you to expand the overall input count larger than what's on the back of the console. So each Expression can mix up to 66 inputs into the mix bus, so you can have up to 54 mic preamps on the console. So the stage box is a great solution for expanding the console's I/O capability. If you need more information, please go to fullcompass.com or contact your Full Compass sales representative.